Welcome back, friends. In the previous lecture, we have talked about electric potential. Prior to that, we have gone through the Gauss law and electric flux density. Now it's a time to discuss energy density. Energy density is the concept which is included as the last point of unit number 2. But in the sequence, if you just consider that once you understand electric field intensity, then we have moved towards flux density. From the flux density, we have talked about electric potential. And today in this lecture we'll talk about how this electric potential and work done, these concept can be related to decide energy density, that is energy stored in the assembly of charges. So we'll talk about this in this session. So let's start. Now see, assume this is a space. If you can see, this is a initially empty space, and this initially empty space is not having any of the charges initially. Is it okay? So try to understand the concept. Now what I am going to do, I will take a unit positive charge from infinity to the point P1. Let's say the charge is Q1. So the Q1 charge is taken from infinity to the point P1, which is initially free of charges. No charge is present. So work done in taking a positive charge, unit positive charge from infinity to P1 will be 0. Why it is 0? Because work will be done against the field. Since there is the initial charges are absent, there will be no electric field intensity associated with the previous charges, and that's why work done against the field will be 0 almost. So work done in taking unit positive charge from infinity to point P1 is 0. Now what I am going to do, I am going to take a second charge Q2 from infinity to the point P2. But while taking this charge from infinity to P2, earlier the charge Q1 is already present here. So definitely if I am talking about the charge, there will be an electric field associated with this charge, yes or no? Yes, there will be electric field associated with this charge, and I need to work against the field which is due to the effect of Q1, and I need to do the work against this particular electric field. So I need to consider potential at point 2 due to potential at point P1. So sorry, I need to consider potential at P2 due to charge present at the point P1, and that's we are going to call it as V12. So we'll talk about that in the next stage. Now what I am going to do, so already two charges are placed. Now I am going to take a third charge. So third charge is taken from infinity. I am keeping it to the P1. I am taking it to the P3, and now while taking this charge to the P3, already two charges are present at P1 and P2 respectively. So there will be two different electric field, one due to Q1, one due to Q2, which will affect the amount of work that need to be done from taking a charge from infinity to this point P3, and this work done will be measured by certain entity. We already know the formula for work done. We'll try to understand this by mathematical expression. And once these charges are taken, if someone asks you how much is the energy density, what is basically energy density? Energy density is nothing but the energies present in the assembly of charges. So how much energy is present in this assembly of these charges, that we will try to calculate. Okay, so to determine energy present in the assembly of charges, we must determine the amount of work necessary to assemble them. So we need to initially calculate amount of work that need to be done to assemble them. Once that is done, then we can calculate the energy density. Now no work is required to transfer Q1 from infinity to point P1, because space is initially charge free and where there is no electric field. If there is no electric field, work done against the field will be almost 0. So work done W1. So this is a work done in taking a charge Q1 from infinity to point P1. So this is W1 is 0. The point is clear. Let's go to the next slide. Now the work done in transferring Q2 from infinity to P2 is equal to product of Q2 and potential V21. Now what is this potential V21? V21 is the potential at point 2 due to point P1, or due to the charge present at point P1. So how I am going to represent that? Work done 2, that is W2 is equal to Q2 into V21. Try to understand, this is potential at 2 due to a charge present at point 1. So you already know the work done formula. Work upon Q is equal to potential difference, that we already talked about. If I take this Q to the denominator, it will be a potential difference, that is V21, exactly same. So the LHS and RHS are matched. So Q2 into V21. Now the same way, if I need to take a third charge from infinity to P3, mathematically we will try to understand. So the work done will be what? Q3 into potential at 3 due to 2 and potential at 3 due to 1. So this P3 point or the Q3 charge will come under the influence of two voltages, the two potential, the potential due to Q1 and potential due to Q2, and that's why it is denoted as Q3 into V32 plus V31. So we can take Q3 common, it will become Q3 into bracket V32 plus V31, where V32 and V31 are the potential at P3 and P2 due to Q2 and Q1 respectively. Try to understand this concept clearly. So the amount of work done in taking a charge from infinity to P1 is Q1 when initially it is charge free, it is 0, and finally we got WE. W is the total amount of work done in taking all these charges will be 0 plus Q2 V21, that is equation number 2, plus Q3 into V31 plus V32. I hope this is clear. Next, now if I just reverse the order of the placement of these charges, what I mean to say, initially the space is charge free. Once again consider this surface as charge free. Now initially I am keeping taking the charge Q3 from infinity to P3. So these two charges are absent. If it is absent, the work done in taking this unit positive charge will be W1 is equal to once again 0. Yes or no? Then once this Q3 is placed, now I will take Q2, and Q2 is taken from infinity and kept at point P2. So this charge Q2 will come under the influence of potential at 2 due to 3. Yes or no? Potential at 2 due to 3. So work done will be this second equation, Q2 into V23. V23 is a potential at 2 due to the charge present at P3. What is the meaning of the charge present at P3? That means electric field associated with that charge. So potential must be calculated accordingly. So W1 is 0, sorry, W3 is 0, W2 will be Q2 into V23, and now I am taking a third charge from infinity to this point P1. If that is so, it will come under the influence of voltage at P2, voltage at P3, which will affect the amount of work done that need to be done from taking point from infinity to point P1. So that will be Q1 into potential at 1 due to 2, potential at 1 due to 3. So it is written as Q1 into V12 plus V13. See, this is very important concept to understand. What I did initially I have taken Q1, Q2, Q3, and in the second case I have taken Q3, Q2 and Q1. I just reversed the order of these charges and I got this another equation for W. So I am having two equations of W. One equation is something like this, and another equation, I will call this for our understanding, this is our equation, let's say capital A, and next equation as capital B. I will call this as capital B. Now if I add A and B, what I will get? WE plus WE, that means 2 times WE. So if I add them, it becomes 2 times W, Q1 into V12, V13 plus Q2 into V21, V23, Q3 into V31, V32. Once again, try to understand the question to yourself. What is V12? Potential at 1 due to 2, potential at 1 due to 3, similarly so on and so forth. So can I replace this potential at 1 due to 2 and potential at 1 due to 3? So I am talking about a single potential at point P1. So I can denote it with V1. So Q1 V1 plus Q2 V2 plus Q3 V3. So if I calculate this, 2 times W is equal to, so W is equal to 1 half Q1 V1 plus Q2 V2 plus Q3 V3. Yes or no? Yes. So what expression I have got for W? W is equal to 1 half Q1 V1 plus Q2 V2 plus Q3 V3. Try to understand this capital V1 and capital V2 and capital V3 are now respectively actual potential at point 1, 2 and 3 due to the combination of all these charges. Now where V1, V2, V3 are the total potentials at P1, P2 and P3 respectively. In general, if there are n point charges, if I am talking about n point charges, I get the equation for W as half of, half is coming because this 2 is coming into the denominator, half of summation k running from 1 to n Qk Vk. So it will be Q1 V1 plus Q2 V2 plus Q3 V3 so on and so forth plus Qn Vn. Is it okay? So let's talk about next thing. So energy density in electrostatic field. So it's better we will stop here and we'll talk in the next lecture about energy density for different charge distribution. Right now we have talked about only point charges. If whether the equations are applicable for the line charge and surface charge and volume charge, that we'll try to see in the next lecture. Till then, thank you very much and happy learning.